Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Builders Call. And today, as you're getting on here, we are going to be all stuff and no fluff. So I am actually going to baton pass right away as y'all are getting on. We're glad to see you. And there's Mr. Spivey. I was just making the announcement. I was saying all stuff, no fluff today. I'm handing the baton over to Mr. Pogue, but before I do, I will baton pass to you, Spivey.
Is that a nice way of saying you don't want me to get on here and ramble about a bunch of nonsense?
Yes, basically we're saying no banter today. We're getting after it. So I will baton pass to you and you can hand it over to Pogue.
I appreciate that. I definitely want to get out of the way today. Very special call, guys. Two individuals that have poured their hearts out to so many on this call, and to Andrew recently with the snapshot, having some major milestones met. And I know Jacob Pogue couldn't be more of a proud mentor and somebody that is extremely grateful to be in business with an individual like Andrew. So I do not want to take up any of their time as well. Just want to say appreciate both of you, the leadership that you provide, not only within your own organization, but the entire company. It's hard for me to get through a week without Jacob Pogue sending me some type of text message, voice message, or something of encouragement. And it just always resonates to know that good people like yourselves are out there leading this organization and taking care of both the development of future leaders, but also making sure to take time and be concerned with the heart as well. And I appreciate you both greatly. So
yeah, real quick, I got to give a Jacob testimony. It was funny. I was talking to Sarah Reinecke over the last couple of weeks, and actually I was watching her. She gave a great talk on engaging agents, which is really important for managers to do. And she made the passing comment. She's like, try saying no to Jacob Pogue. And I thought about that comment, and it's actually a very positive comment about Jacob's positive influence on people. And really it's it's one thing to look at leadership as an influence process and to learn the skills of influence. But Jacob, one of the things that I think is so noteworthy about you is it comes from such a genuine place of a desire to truly practically help people, serve them, and it's authentic. It's you're just the exemplar of how do you really care for people, help them win, and really do that with consistency. So honoring you today, excited for you. You guys get after it. We actually, that's not bad. 3 minutes. We used 3 minutes of.
We did pretty good.
It's
like a record.
It is. So please, over to you, Jacob.
For two advisory board members too. So
that's right.
So much gratefulness in the short time that Andrew's been a part of the advisory board and the impact he's already starting to make, guys. It's a bright future for sure. So we mean it this time, Jacob. We're out.
Well, I just want to say thank you for the kind words, Brian, Todd. Man, y'all are just y'all are awesome. It's so cool that the type of people that Brandon and Casey continue to surround themselves with. And I've told both of y'all privately, I've said it publicly. Max is another one, man. Just Brandon and Casey, I think their superpower amongst many, one of them is identifying talent, and just bringing bright minds, great people, good hearts to this company. And I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful that one of our four cornerstones is like the founders want you to work harder on yourself than your business. Like, that's cool. Not a lot of corporations who get paid, from a sales will tell you, no, you go work on yourself. That's what we want. We want you to thrive in your life, and we want you to be happy. Ultimately, that does turn into more success in business too. But I think some of those things you mentioned about me, Brian, were learned. Obviously, my parents taught me how to love people, and how to be generous and things like that. But I'm a completely different person today than I was 9 years ago coming into this business. And I owe so much of it. Like, the finances are great. The time freedom is great. Like, all those things are awesome. But because I came in here and I just plugged away at this leadership development system, my life is great, and it's great because I can look in the mirror and I see someone that I'm proud of, someone that has done hard things, a better husband, a better brother, son, like all those things. And it's all of us here in this company that make that possible. And y'all are a big part of that. So thank you. I'm so excited for today's call. So super excited to have my good buddy, my friend, my business partner, Andrew, the Jimenez, on the line with us today. You know, someone else who has grown, guys, is you, buddy. Man, you came in here 21 years old. I met you, 5 years ago in Phoenix, Arizona at a corporate overview event. How many people did we have there, man? There's like 15, 20 people?
Yeah, it was definitely a smaller one.
Yeah. And I remember meeting you there, and you were, you were excited. You were fired up. You were like, man, I'm going to do this. All right. And so we talked after the meeting. You stayed and we were talking, and you're like, I found out a little bit about you. You're making $12 an hour stocking boxes. And I was like, all right, well, if you're going to get started, you got to make sure you have a computer, a laptop or something. You got to get the conference coming up here. You're going to need some money to get licensed and a stack of leads. And you're kind of looking around like, I don't know where y'all get your money, but I don't have any. Right. And I just remember having a conversation with you then that says, hey, look, man, we'd love to work with you. But if you're going to need to figure out your financial problem, in order to get started, because if you can't figure out yours, how do you expect to help your clients figure out theirs? Right. From day one in this business, you have been resourceful. You figured out, you got some money, right? You went and got licensed. You sold some policies to some family, right? Who'd you get? You sold your mama, your grandma, who else?
And my stepmom, 3 most important women in my life. They couldn't say
right.
no.
That's exactly right. That's right. It's a great way to start your sales career. So you were just resourceful from day one, and then you started dialing, and you were probably the opposite of good on the phone, right? It took some time, but once again, you listen to training videos and you push through that pain, and you put in a lot of work, and you got better. You were resourceful, right? And then you started running those appointments. Once you got past that and could book appointments, and once again, I wouldn't say you were the top producer at that time, right?
No, not even close.
But you started getting around the right people, man. You started asking questions and taking notes and being resourceful. And then you figured out how to sell. And then we have conference coming up, and you went to conference and you were wanting to build a business. Man, I saw you like a ping pong ball bouncing around to different people, asking a question and then kind of hushing up and just listening, listening to so many of the top leaders here, asking them how they built the business. And you started doing that. Once again, resourceful, right? And then your life slowly but surely started to change. You were devouring books. I don't remember what year it was, but you were telling me you were reading like 2 or 3 books a week. I was like, dude, this is great. I was like, obviously your brain might be better than mine. I don't know. But I was like, why don't you slow down and actually start writing some stuff down so you can implement it? I was like, I don't see how you can get all that information so quick. But man, you've been coachable from day one. You've been coachable from day one. You've worked your butt off. You came here at 21. At 22, we're the youngest agency owner to break out at Symmetry, which was just awesome. You've built an amazing culture full of amazing people. You love your team. They love you. They will run through a wall for you, man. And it's because you run through walls for them. Youngest advisory board member in the company at 26 years old. And now we get to say the youngest direct in the company. Man, congratulations on hitting the top contract level of the company. I couldn't be more proud of you, bud.
I appreciate it, man. It's been an absolutely amazing and fun, and I would say tough too. You got to learn a lot, but I am just so grateful. I just think every day too, like, I don't think there's any amount of work or any amount of words or anything else that I can do to express my gratitude for what this company has done for me. And so many people in this company have done for me.
Yeah. Well, and I know, and that's the cool thing about this business, man. It's like not just, I've had the pleasure of not only mentoring you, but being mentored by you, and learning from you. And I love the way your brain works. And I love how everyone, it's a group, takes a village sometimes. It certainly did for me. And man, the fact that Ryan Miller has spent so much time pouring into you. Danny Young, Grant Lieber, a buddy of yours who y'all get to learn so much from each other, and Marlon Faulkner, are some names that come to mind. Obviously, there's so many others who you've gained valuable knowledge from in coaching, and they've been on calls with you. But those are ones that consistently have just poured in and had in some cases, weekly calls with you, man. And that's what I love about this culture. There's someone in this company that you can connect with that'll help you on your journey. And you've just been so good at seeking that out, man. So I'm proud of you, dude. I couldn't be more fired up for you. There's not another, watching you work towards this and grow towards this. And it is a growth journey, but man, you've always done it with a smile. And if you fell down, you just got back up and kept rolling. You've been resourceful. And that's what I'll tell anybody on the line. Just be resourceful. Don't say can't, just say how. How do I? And you keep putting one foot in front of the other. And one day soon, you're going to look up and we're going to be celebrating you hitting the top of this thing like we are, Andrew. But man, so proud of you, brother. Love you. You know that. We've got a lot to go over today. And I'm so excited for this call. We were on the phone yesterday, kind of just walking through our process. We get the questions a lot in this agency is like, how do you build that recruiting culture? How are y'all on the top of the leaderboards? And so it really, forced us to think through our processes and how we do it. And I think, what some people might be thinking today, Andrew, is kind of like, how do I get a recruiter started? We're going to go over kind of 3 steps to build a builder, right? That's what we're going to give you today. 3 steps to build a builder. And a lot of people are probably saying, okay, great. They're going to tell me how to get a recruiter started. No, we're going to tell you how to build a builder, right? And there's a difference. I mean, we can give anyone some interviews on their calendar, right, Andrew, and teach them how to do an interview and to get them recruiting. Like that process is not that hard to get someone recruiting. The process that we try to follow on this team is to get them building, right? And when we say building, someone that you can grow with, someone that you can apprentice, you can teach and train, someone that you can take under your wing, someone that becomes a running buddy and sticks in this business, someone like Andrew who gets to the top of this company. So that's what we're going to talk about today is 3 keys to building a builder, that true business partner. And if you're taking notes, the 3 things we're going to go over, Andrew's going to be hitting with you, is step 1, it starts on the interview. Step 1, it starts on the interview. Step 2, it's a game plan session. And step 3 is we promote the present, but focus on the future. Those are the 3 big headlines that we've identified that help us do this. So Andrew, I want you to hit to kind of go through these and share with everyone what we do over here.
Absolutely. Guys, welcome to the National Builders Call, and let's jump right into it. And Jacob, as always, just pop in at any point. Guys, like you said, anyone can get a recruiting script, anyone can get interviews booked on their calendar, and they can start recruiting immediately. It's not that tough. You follow the recruiting script, and if they sound pretty good and they, check off the boxes that really meets our core values, hey, it's up to them to see what they can really do here. But what we want to talk about is getting somebody to build an agency, build themselves, build something for their future, right? So how do we get them started doing that early? Well, first and foremost, it's going to start on the interview, okay? Almost everyone that walks into our business has seen either our corporate overview or been to an event. And it's honestly super important that you plant the seed early. For a lot of people, they're thinking, okay, Andrew, well, what do I say? Well, it's as simple as this. All you need to do is just ask them, what about the overview excited you? Producing or building. And then just start to talk to them a little bit about what it means to build an agency. I mean, we all get into this thing for one thing or another, right? But the main reason that we want to build an agency is for time and money. Heck, it's the reason why the founder started the business. And so I started Symmetry. And so what will all this hard work get you in the end? What will consistently, Jacob, work in 3, some people 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, in my case, 7 years, 6, 7 years here to get to the top of the company. What will it mean and be worth it in the end? Having probably one of the most incredible journeys that you could go on, and a lifestyle that I think a lot of people look at and just think, man, if I could only get that. And the truth is everyone can, you just got to be willing to work at it. So it starts on the interview. And then immediately after we do that, Jacob, we're going to move into, hey, we want to make sure that we get your paperwork back. And we're going to bam fam immediately to set up another time to chat with them about what it means to build and what's possible. Now, here's the important piece, okay? We need to make sure we take the fear away. See, a lot of people think, oh, I just got to ask them if they want to produce or build. Yes, but what are you going to get every single time, Jacob? I want to learn how to do this thing first before I invite people on to do this thing with me. And I will say, yes, you got to get a little bit better than just saying it that straightforward. You got to sell a little bit. Okay. So don't be afraid to sell it. Don't be afraid to encourage and empower this idea of what could be. And the main reason people aren't going to do it is because they just have the fear of the unknown. And so I want to quickly just demonstrate what, for me, that kind of looks like if we were chatting. Jacob has his own way of doing it too. And I'll just say, hey, very simply, hey, Jacob, there's two ways that you can honestly build this business. The first option, you can come in here, you can learn this business, you can make great money, you can pay off some debt, you can get some more time back. And I think that honestly, you're going to have the best self-employed and most flexible career you could have for being 1099 and commission in the insurance industry. And I said, and when you get a couple years into this business and you get really good, you're going to get into the point where all of a sudden you're going to have a lot of financial freedom and a lot of time freedom because you got really good at this business. And now the other option that you can do is you can get all the same things that option one provides, and you can have more time freedom, more money freedom. You can give more impact to those around you, your family, the families you're helping. You can have an opportunity to live in a lifestyle with more flexibility. You can have an opportunity to have more passive income than you probably ever dreamed of. And that all can happen at the same exact time that you're doing option one. So quick question for you, out of those two options, which one do you think sounds better for you?
I like option two, Andrew.
And see, when they answer that, that's your answer. That gives you an idea as to if somebody wants to build, if somebody just wants to come in here and produce. And if they want to produce, hey, not everyone wants to build, that's okay. But I am going to tell you, lots of people just unsure how to do it, and they need you to lead them through what it actually means to do it. Because here's the second piece beyond that, Jacob, is after they answer, yes, I want to, option two sounds great to me. I say, here's the thing. Just like you're sitting with me on the phone right now, my job is to interview, coach, and train you within our system. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for anyone that you think that would enjoy doing what we do. We're going to learn the system the same way, and we can do this in a big way together. And so, Jacob, I'll pause there if you have anything to add before we go to the game.
Yeah. So the key on the interview that has worked for us, right, has been most everyone's seen the corporate overview, like Andrew said. They see both sides of this thing, sales and building. And we'll ask them, what excited you about the overview? Was it your ability to earn a great income in the field, or to not only do that, but to build a business and a passive income? As soon as they say build a business, it's usually followed by, but I want to figure this thing out. And that's the key to take the fear away with what Andrew just said. Well, the cool thing is if your neighbor's interested, that's the great thing about our system. If your neighbor's interested, you just show them the same company overview I showed you. I'll interview them, teach them, train them, and coach them, but they're your agent, right? And so where you ask it, some people make the mistake of wanting to talk about building and kind of selling that or telling a story, kind of guiding them towards building before they even told you that's what they want. We've never had someone start building a business on our team who didn't want to, but the people that want to, we get them doing it quickly by taking that fear away. Good stuff, bud.
So then we go, like I said, we take that bam fam, Jacob, and we go from that point of at the interview to all of a sudden, hey, like, yeah, okay, I could see what that could do for me. And Dan Young has always told us, I mean, he said it a few weeks ago, we've always said it's like idea of just bring a friend. By the time you finish your licensing course, we want to have two people on the way of finishing theirs, because this is a process, guys. This is a process. So when we go into that game plan session, very simply, first and foremost thing that I always like to find out, we like to always find out, is what drives them? What are they chasing? What's their pain that they don't want to experience anymore? Why do they even want to do this thing? Because as we all know, it's going to require a lot of hard work, and it's worth it in every second of pain, sweat, tears, hard work, fun, excitement, joy, all these emotions that I've gotten to experience over the last 6 years, guys. I can tell you, every piece of it is there. And yet what we want to do is just lay out the expectations that, hey, for 90 to 120 days, don't expect any crazy results. Just keep your head down, stay focused, and do the activity. We want to let them to know that if they want to get substantial and sustained growth, that they need to get 10 completed contracts personally per month. If you're doing anything less than that, it's enough to keep you busy, not enough to start to turn that corner to where you actually start to get to where you want, just like when water boils, right? The next thing is that your recruiting budget is going to be ever increasing. Every 3 months, reassess your budget, because you're going to be making more money. You should then be able to reinvest more of it to amplify it, right? If you got a fire, Jacob, that's roaring right now and it's looking good, are you going to throw another log on it, or are you going to just let it die out? That's the same exact thing here. You got to make sure that you're constantly reassessing, growing, and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then what I think, early benefits to starting early and building: you hit your promotions faster, you hit slingshot faster and consistently, and you start to realize this life of freedom is going to be here with few more hard years of work. And Jacob, honestly, you get the most results, not because you spend all your time showing and training us how to do interviews. No, we leverage the system in building builders and capitalizing by helping them game plan what their future could be.
Yep. That's exactly right. I mean, I get it all the time. Like, what do you say on the interview? I'm like, I don't even know anymore. I don't train on it. It's this process, man. It's this process. And it's important, the BAM fam that you mentioned, to start step 2. So it starts on the interview. When we know we have someone on the phone that says, okay, they want to build, but they're fearful, we took the fear away from them, and then say, hey, if you're interested, and one of the questions you might ask on the interview is, do you want to start fast or slow? Now, knowing that I'm here to support you, does that change your timeline or when you want to get started? Yeah. This is where a lot of people drop the ball. They don't take the next step, and they're expecting this person to just come and say, put me in, coach, right? So we need to guide them a little bit and say, okay, well, next Monday, let's get on the phone. We'll have a game plan session. And this is what Andrew was just going through. So you find the why, you lay down the expectations of like what they should do numbers wise and what they should expect timeline wise. And then just know that on that call, like so many of the calls I do, so many of the calls you do as leaders, like your job is to speak belief into that person and excitement, right? And focus on the future, belief and excitement. And Andrew's going to talk about some of the ways that we take care of that excitement and future focus here with step 3. But awesome job, buddy.
I appreciate it. And yeah, you're exactly right. Step 3, we promote the present and we focus on the future, right? PPFF, right? Present, promotion, focus on the future. And here's the reason why. Jacob, we know that when that 90 to 120 days of somebody doing this thing, and they try to look back before then, and they see that nobody is behind them, or they see that there's all this underlying growth, and they're like, man, when are these people going to get out of licensing course? Man, when are they going to get through trading? Man, when are they just going to write their first policy? Everyone has their own learning curve. They've all got to go through it. All the people that you're hiring and building up. And so what we have to make sure we do is keep them focused on the future while we highlight the activity that they're doing right now. And so really, what does that look like? Well, we leaderboard what we want. We leaderboard what we want. New writers, completed packets, unique writers. See, and our people will fight to get on those leaderboards. And what happens intuitively? Well, if they're fighting to get on those leaderboards, we know that those specific leaderboards get them the type of result that they want. So they fight to get highlighted and promoted, and it actually ends up helping them with their future. We promote and highlight team leaders. It takes a little bit more work on the back end. It takes a lot more, you know, the admins going through and finding the numbers and putting the things together. But I'm telling you, those team leaders are our future leaders in the first place. They're those future key leaders, the future AOs. We get what we talk about. Casey Watkins always says, talk, teach, testify, TTT, talk, teach, testify. What is it that we want to see more of? We need to talk about it. We plug people into the builder's corner and help them work on themselves and ask them a lot of times, what are they reading, right? We got to teach them how to get better. Being a better builder is a lot less about being skill oriented as much as you might think it is working on yourself. Brian Delaney has time and time, everybody in this business, you know, has said, if you want to lead a bigger team, you're going to have to get bigger yourself. And you've got to take time to self-develop consistently, effectively, and just have fun with it. Watch yourself grow, because people around you are going to start saying, man, you just seem a lot happier now, Jacob. Like what about you has changed? Well, cash flow glow helps. But when you're personally really excited about your development, trust me, other people recognize that. And lastly, testify. We highlight and share stories of new agency builders having success, because I'm telling you guys, your old dogs, your veterans that have been here, that are going through it, trust me, they're great. They're doing their thing. But I'm telling you, the minute you get a new person that slides all right by all of them and does everything you've asked correctly, all of a sudden they go, hey, I thought I was Andrew's favorite. Hey, Brian, how come I'm not on the calls as much? And you keep having this other person on the calls. And all of a sudden, the rising tide raises all ships. See, people start fighting for, not necessarily fighting for attention, but they want to get highlighted. They see the competition. It encourages them, empowers them. You know, I always think about athletes. I grew up as an athlete. You know, the reason why every professional sports team ever has that farm team is to keep the current guys from getting complacent, because they're going to get their job taken. It's kind of the same idea. Highlight those new agents, those people that are coming up, and the roaring fire will stoke everything up. So I can tell you guys this, the top recruiters in the company really just aren't doing anything more. Aren't doing anything else than just doing more than everyone else. And they're doing it consistently enough. Because I can tell you, you string together, and Jacob can testify to this too, not 90 to 120 days. You put 6 months, 12 months together of consistent, effective, under proper leadership, recruiting and building. Watch where your life will be in 12 to 18 months. And you will be blown away just how life-changing it can actually be. So once again, we promote the present, we focus on the future, because we don't want them to get caught up in the minutia of the week to week, Jacob. We got to lift up their head, get them out of the dirt, get them out of the mud, and let them know just how great and green the pastures are going to be with this consistent hard work to just push through that learning curve. So I'm going to get back to
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. And that's so much of the magic. So much of the magic of what we do is just that. It's celebrating those things that we want, like Andrew said. And I'll take it a step further. We celebrate our team leaders from a master agency perspective, but a lot of our base shops, what we'll do is have like a leaders leaderboard. So if you have an agent, you know, say you have 2 builders on your team, they have 1 writer, or, you know, 2 writers apiece. We have a leaderboard for them. So now every builder on our team is competing against someone. People love competition, right? And it's something for them to drive for. But speaking belief into people, you know, being encouraging, promoting them. When on the national leaderboards, all the builders on the line, your fingers should be hurting after the first 20 minutes. You should be taking screenshots of the leaderboards, texting them to your people. That's still what I do. It's like the first 20 minutes as he's going through the leaderboards, I'm screenshotting, I'm sending as many as I can. Sometimes I miss them, you know, because they're fast. But man, you know how that little thing makes such a big difference in someone that says, hey, I see you. I recognize what you're doing. Congratulations for getting on the leaderboard. And then, as Andrew said, we focus on where they're going, not where they're at. If you have a tendency to get in the weeds of what their presentation looks like this week or their phone script, like, not saying some of that's not important. We have training for that. We leverage our training here We leverage Summit. We leverage the work that Max Day has put in. We send our people there so we can focus on the things that make the most difference, which is getting their head higher than this week to look at where they're going if they just keep doing what they're doing. You figure out how to be positive, encouraging, celebrate now, but focus on the future, and you're going to build a great big business here. We appreciate the time.
Fantastic, gentlemen. And for those of you in the chat, I put a lot of the notes in the chat that these guys work so hard to put together for you. But I love it, Jacob. Summit is all about metrics plus mentoring equals milestones. And you're exactly right to take the training, heavy lifting, let that be on the side of the systems that we put together. And you guys just have modeled so well what true mentoring looks like, right? Being available, being consistent, being engaged with agents and your leaders, because that's what it takes. It takes that relational touch and apprenticeship. So good stuff. Andrew, Jacob, home run call, lots of great comments, and we'll baton pass over to B and C. Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
You guys, congratulations. You hear me?
Thank you.
Let's see that. Give me a close up of that sleeve real quick.
Which one?
Your sleeve.
Oh, sleeve.
Look at that. Spike, you think I can pull off a sleeve? I've always wanted one.
I think you could.
Thank you. Hear me?
We've talked about this multiple times.
We have. I know. I'm just so scared to pull the trigger. I don't know why.
Meredith's shaking her head no.
I think Meredith was giving you a big 2 thumbs up and shaking her head yes, like you should do it.
That's a great suggestion for our next offsite for the Chiefs. We should all get tattoos together. I'm in. I've already got 3.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's all get like a Quigley tattoo.
I think Meredith should get a sleeve.
Meredith, I have her for years.
I would if I could do it for like 3 to 5 years.
Well, they've got that now. Patty Ruth sent us an email on this the other day, and
it's available.
It's like 2 to 3 year.
I just need to know what that 5-year mark is going to look
I
like.
feel like that last 6 months of fading is going to be like
Get dicey.
Wait, honestly, I don't know what was more impressive, the fact that you can do a 3 to 5 year tattoo, or that your daughter, Addie Ruth, who's like 16, sent you an email on this. Instead of a text message.
Neither are impressive.
My wife was telling me she was working on a patient. She does dental hygiene part-time, and she had a older lady who got a butterfly tattooed on her, and she said, man, the only problem is my butterfly has now turned to a bat because it was all wrinkly. So you got to watch out, I think.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I can tell you.
I
I can tell you guys, when we did the Symmetry, I don't know if it was like the 80s, I dressed up as Axl Rose, you know, at our conference, and they sell these sleeves that you can put on at, you know, that from the Halloween store or whatever. And I never felt tougher, man.
I did the same thing. Yeah, I had one of those that you just pull on.
Yeah.
I ended up shooting videos with it. It was in one of our ACH.
That's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
God, I felt awesome. That's what you feel every day. And he's just walking around like,
Y'all want us just to talk and we just not even do a national call day?
I
Just catch up.
My bad. Are we showing a video or are we going straight into it?
We do have a video today. If you want to do that now, or we can do it after the leaderboard, your call.
I like that. Let's do it after. Yeah, let's do it after. All right. I'm sharing my screen. Final call.
Good job.
How is your?
If you do get a sleeve, can we take a quality vote on what goes on that sleeve? That's what I want to know.
I don't think so, but I would love people in the chat to go ahead and tell me what belongs on my sleeve. I'm not saying it's a vote. I am saying I'm open to suggestions.
I'm putting a big shot of Gilbert's face on your forearm.
Gilbert, the goat.
The love-hate of the miniature dog at Brandon Ellison's home.
That's right. You know, speaking of feeling tough, that dog's never had a problem feeling tough.
He's backing down.
I'd get a tattoo of Gilbert. Gilbert's so cool. I'd get a tattoo of him.
That's interesting. If you get a tattoo of another man's dog on your arm.
Yeah, it got a little
I think
weird.
there's a John Prine song where he says, you know, he realized he had a tattoo of another man's wife on his arm. So probably didn't start that way. We're assuming. We got a good one today. Miranda Martin, Jasmine Pearson, setting appointments with multiple lead sources. We have a little updates on that as well, too. So let's get started because I'm going to blow you away, Casey, with some of these numbers. You ready for this? Congratulations.
I'm ready, dude.
Garrett, Legender, Dylan. Look at this. Laura Bailey, first week out, $27,435. I'm just wondering, did we like put the comma in the wrong place? Was there a rounding error? I don't know. But Laura Bailey, congratulations to you. Spidey Laura Bailey's previous occupation. This is a clear one to me.
Former bail bondsman.
I like that. Could very well be. I was saying heir to the Bailey's liqueur throne. And just didn't really like the idea of like, making all that money off of booze. So
Yeah.
charting our own path. I like it. Top 10 producers for the week, top 3, Gerald Dunn, Laura Bailey. Eric Alvarado, $31,000. Way to go, Alvarado. Rasmus Sackman, also Alvarado, with 19 apps for the week. Well done. Top DI producer for the week was James Hickman. Small policies, but they add up, okay? Top IUL producer was Violet Poulter with $16,817. Top annuity producer for the week was, again, Darren Stubbs. He's no stranger to the annuity board. $694,584. That will take care of a few payments. Well done, Stubbs. Top DFL producer, Sydney Lee, $12,857. Just barely took down Stephen Brennis. And Ron Williams, for that matter. Kind of a logjam in the top 3 there. I like that. Total recruits for the week in the base, Bradley Shenovar. What did you do? 10? Larry Grossman, 9. These are some massive base shop recruiting numbers. Can I just say this is not normal? It's like the Symmetry recruiting funnel is starting to funnel. And look at these top direct recruits. Pogue, 56. Cook he's taking the challenge. Spidey, he got really excited because he would send us this trash talking text that Tennessee Volunteers have won the SEC championship in baseball and basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Cook didn't even know that they had a baseball or basketball team.
You have to do some things when your football team has not beaten their rival in 16 years.
Now, see, I didn't mean for you to go talk to him junk that much. He's doing great. He's on the leaderboard with 51 recruits.
Killing it.
He is. He's laughing right now because he and Ziller have this back and forth.
About to say, Chris, when you're recruiting 51 people to your direct organization, you're not worried about a little laughter at your fandom skills.
This is true. Tennessee, UT, look it up, everybody. They have a baseball player that is throwing 105 miles an hour. That's faster than Ricky Vaughn from Wild Thing, from Major League.
I'm not getting the batter's box at 105. Nope.
Out.
Nope. I'm going to go recruit and become an insurance agent.
Well done, Jordan Hunt. Top base shop licensed recruits. Jacob Pogue with 20. Wayland. Danny. The board. Well done. New writers for the week, Ashley and Tyler, who are now in Lake Como soon to be celebrating their marriage, if not already. Is that maybe Saturday or something? I think George Clooney in a mall may show up. It's going to be awesome. Jacob Pogue, 9 new writers again, man. Killing it. Top SNAs, Susie and Pogue. There's like a correlation there between those two. Pretty amazing. All right. Top SNAs. I want to turn this one over to Todd Spivey to see how quickly he can run through these last names only. Spivey, you're on the clock.
Gleason, Wood, Clark, Wasake, Morrill, Rainey, Harlan, Stoudemire, Vowell, Constantine.
Can we pause for a second? I know that we're timing this, but isn't it cool that Vowell and Constantine are right next to each other?
That's a good call out.
Vowell, you can pick a Constantine. Anyway.
You don't notice those things when you get so nervous and you're put on the spot and you know.
Oh, you know nervous.
Some of these pronunciations.
Right.
Good call out. We got Witten. We also have Espinoza, Hines, Bailey, Lee, Casano, Mitru, Russell, Mesa, Bridges, Knight, West, and Crone. And in case you don't know, guys, SNA means 6 applications in 6 weeks, statistically putting you on a trajectory to have a very successful and prosperous career with Symmetry. And congratulations to everybody for putting in that hard work, and especially those leaders you see out in parentheses for putting an emphasis and putting you in a position to have early success. Congratulations, everybody.
Yes.
Well said, Spivey.
Done.
And that is 6 apps in 6 weeks at a minimum.
Yeah,
A lot of
there's
those
that one
SMAs
there that
do a
started.
ton more than that, and you should be doing a ton more than that if you can, because you got slingshot bonuses, you got carrier kickers, you got all kinds of ways to sweeten that pot and get yourself an extra 10, 20 points of comp right off the bat with incentives. So, you know, you should be trying to hit that SNA at 6 apps in 6 weeks if you're new on the phone, but don't set that as your expectation. Set that as a minimum standard just to hit that SNA.
Yeah, I would say you should be shooting for 60 and 60.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right.
Pay attention
Then
to
you-
those
then-
leaders
then-
too, with repeat names like Susie and Reineke and so many more there, guys, taking this serious and growing explosively.
Look here. There are your numbers right there. Way to go. Top key leader for the week was Holly Jacobs. Holly, famous around here because she takes many names, as we saw on leaderboards a few weeks ago. Her picture showed up about 4 times. Susie, top AO for the week. Well done. Alvarado, top agency director. Also well done. Top regional agency director is Eileen Balmer. Top managing vice president, Mr. Cook. Way to go, Cookie. Nate Offord. He's on a tear.
He's on it.
He's on a tear. There's rumors that he's gonna have a it's not a TV show, it's a YouTube show featuring him soon. Have you heard that, Casey?
Yeah, sure have.
Can't wait to see that. Top executive vice president is Mr. Sean Shannon. The top associate partner is Mr. Linwood Watkins. Top senior partner, Edward Pritchett. And the top managing partner is Marshall Whalen. Man, these two are neck and neck. Good week by Purdy. Well done. No, Delaney and a lot of his team were out of town this week.
Phenomenal.
For a big bounce back from Team Delaney. They were on. Was it a group vacation or was it a group?
No, it was a big spring
right.
boot camp.
Big spring
down in
boot camp.
Tampa. Yeah,
That's right.
SFG Freeze.
Big turnout.
Guys, incredible speakers, so much talent that I got to see down in Tampa. It was a phenomenal meeting. And it felt like vacation, but it felt like a big old leadership development vacation, and so much good content. And shout out to so many that poured in that event.
Yeah.
I got to go out to dinner last night with Brian and Tori. Me and Sarah did, and he was telling me about it and just telling me about the feel of it all, and just really feels like kind of things are opening up really well right now coming out of COVID, and their team is just on fire. You get guys like Penso, finally getting his the car of his dreams, the Ferrari, and you're starting to hear all these stories. Ayers in Sicily, living it up in Miami, and a bunch of people kind of starting to move down there with them, and you're just starting to see so many people start to really, really get themselves in a position where they're working how they want to work, and they're working in a way in the business that energizes them. And there's been so much delayed gratification with our company and our leadership along the way. And but that, as Brian and I were talking about last night, it doesn't mean that the gratification doesn't come. And we're starting to see so many people actually start to get, what they've always wanted. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And so it's always going to be delayed gratification to a certain extent, but at a certain point, once you put the work in, it's time to enjoy it, and you're seeing a lot of people get to that spot. It's really cool.
That's right. I'd say better to delay it than to put it in a bunch of debt. Don't do that.
That's true. Yep. Yeah.
Don't do that. Top directs for the week. Look at George and Janet, Kevin Purdy, Jacob Pogue, $242,000, man. Way to go. Way to go. And again, Alvarado offered massive numbers that weren't necessarily here months ago. These guys are like getting a lot of traction and blowing it up. Really excited to see. Manzano, another one, fresh out of corporate. We do have a picture of you, Josh. It just didn't make it to this one, so our apologies. Remember back in the day when we put fake pictures up? That was better. Let's start doing that again. If somebody wouldn't send us a picture, we put somebody else's picture in there.
Yeah,
Holly Jacobs,
definitely do that.
but it was. All right, we got some promotions, man. Elite producer, that's not easy to do. Andre Nero, Hannah Grace, and Misty Cintron. Way to go. Top producers, Frank Capistrano, Gerald Dunn, Jake Van Duzen. We call him the Deuce. Jennifer Stanley, Miran Degafu, Preston Simler, and Spencer Tran. Way to go, top producers. A lot of team leaders. Andre Nero, Ben Edson, Cassandra Mack, Derek Fitzgerald, Dinah Montero, Jamie Cortan, Jeffrey Billman, Jess Baker, Laura Meyer, Monica Jaramillo, Nancy Hardy, and Willis Adair. Top key leaders, new key leaders, I should say, Emmanuel Manuel, Jennifer Stanley, Melvin Lerner, Quixote Atkins, Saltrice Halltower, Shannon Turner, and Tamara Persifield. Way to go. I really like that Emmanuel Manuel name.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's in the running for name of the year, I think.
Manny.
Manny. New agency owners. We got to get some pictures.
He goes by Manny, Brandon, just for next week.
Manny. Ashton DeLonga Lunde. I mean, that's going to be hard for name of the year. I'm sorry, Manny. Jeremy Fine, Miran Degafu, Misty Cintron, Salvatore Capobianco, and John Bryant. Well done, AOs. What advice would you have for AOs, Casey? This crew right here, there's 6 of them. They're getting ready to start a journey. I mean, they've been on a journey. We got to celebrate that to an extent, but they need some advice.
You got to pop some champagne tonight, and then get back to work tomorrow. Start creating more agency owners. Help more people get up to that position, just like these agency directors on the next screen did just that.
Yep. I will say that it's going to get hard before it gets easy. So
that's a tough spot.
That. Lean into it.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of jobs. You're still somewhat new, so you're still learning how to be a leader. You're still out in the field producing. The key is not to kind of start to think that you're a manager. Don't get into this positional leadership trap. Lead from the front, lead your team from the front. If you want your team to be doing 20, 25,000 a month of personal production each and recruiting 10, 15, 20 people a month, you do that. And if you do those 2 things, everyone will follow you and you'll attract a higher quality candidate along the way.
Yeah, well said. And I would also say, make time to continue to improve your leadership. Dive into everything that Brian Williamson is teaching, everything that Thrive is teaching. Learn how to have meaningful conversations, learn how to set boundaries, learn how to create a culture within the culture. Those things will expedite your growth so much more than you think. Don't avoid toughness. Lean into it. Agency directors, congratulations, James Johnson, Martin Kimboy. Way to go, guys. Samuel Jacob Fine, a new regional agency director. Seen a lot of fines on here. Love it, man. Congratulations, Griff Martin and Ian Graham, for new managing vice presidents. Jacob Pogue. How's it feel to be a senior partner now, Jacob Pogue? Any different than it did 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I woke up today and just for some reason I was just fired up. Oh no, wait a minute. I've been doing that for 9 years. So no, it doesn't feel any different, buddy.
The title ain't gonna get you fired up, is it?
Because I know what it means, man. I'm so excited for Andrew.
I love that.
Yep, exactly. And 2 new directs. Congratulations to Andrew, as you were just saying. Youngest? Fastest? Youngest direct, for sure.
Youngest? How is Jordan? How old is Jordan?
Oh, Andrew has the stats on this. Andrew.
Well, I'm just 27, so I think Jordan's like 30.
He's old.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, he's old.
29 or 30.
Jordan's old.
Old timer.
Andrew, somebody was asking, what age were you again when you broke out as AO?
22 and a half. So it was like, yeah, I was here for, 22 and a half, June of 2017.
I love your story too. Did you get to share some of that story in the last call?
No,
All right, we're gonna Todd put Hemi on a call coming up in the next few weeks, maybe like a breakout outbreak type call that we used to do. But I want everybody needs to hear Hemi's story, and maybe we save that. We'll talk about that. But
yeah,
all right.
Also got it dialed in. We're
I'll
going to
say
have Josh on very soon. Want everybody to get to know Josh.
Yeah, I agree.
Tremendous things, opportunity, sees there with Josh, and I know he's got a great big old team, and so grateful for their efforts to get to where it is today. So Josh, man, looking forward to a long partnership, buddy.
Yep. Well done, Manzano. Switchboard, just a couple of announcements. We have a great directs call tomorrow. We're going to be talking about a lot of things, but these are some things that we just hit on last week to reiterate. May 16th through August, all major lead types are going to be rolled into Switchboard, available to SFG agents who meet minimum activity levels. And we're wanting to enroll upwards of 100 a week. And you have to have Switchboard to work the new Razor leads. So that's really important that you understand. $50 a month subscription, working on that, hopefully going to find a way to kind of minimize that as well. Weekly, as I just said, 60 per week, 60-minute small sessions for onboarding. Email invites to commence this week in rolling fashion. Not sure what that means, but I like the sound of it. Company-wide launch is hopefully right after our Denver conference. And it's going to be rolled out by then to all new SFG agents as well. So this is what we're getting a lot of questions on. There's so much excitement around the new digital leads. Everybody kind of understands this is the future. We're getting there, right? If you look at data, if you follow anything going on in the mortgage market, it's imperative that we nail this one. And we have no doubt that we are going to nail it. People that are working leads on platform are seeing as good, if not better, close ratios than even what they're seeing with direct mail leads. And the ability to scale these is, I mean, it's not unheard of for us to be able to get to 50,000 leads a week. In reference, we do about 10 to 12,000 leads a week right now, just in A leads. So right now, focus is life insurance and mortgage protection. They're going to be priced according to or in accordance with the digital leads that Quilly has been putting out. And I think one of the things that I would be most excited about this, as an agent, Casey, I always look at a lead and I say, here's the main thing that I want to know. Did they know what they were filling out? And are they doing enough things to make me believe that they want to buy insurance? Or they are at least interested in buying insurance? The more you guys get to work these Razor leads, the more you're going to understand absolutely multi-stage validation, identity verification processes. These are folks that are actively looking for life insurance. And the average premium is pretty substantially higher, to the tune of $200 to $300 a year more than what we're seeing on direct mail and call-in leads. So there is so much to be excited about this. And as we said last week, it's a COVID moment. A lot of people didn't like the idea of working virtually. Now everybody loves working virtually. A lot of people may not like the idea of doing something differently than what they've always done, which is, instead of working direct mail leads, making a switch to digital. Lean into it, because it is the future and there is so much upside. We've never been more excited about the potential of something, honestly, than the ability to scale digital leads and working them on platform. Those two things will create more of a land grab than anything else we've seen in the previous 13 years of our business. And Casey and I have been in the business for really 20 years, 21 years, and Pope for 50 years or something, but never anything like what we're seeing right now.
Brandon, this does not mean we're cutting back on mortgage mailing data, any of that type of stuff. You've seen over the last 5 years, especially, you've seen a lot of, people in this space, the big, IMOs, distributors and stuff, kind of completely just not even do leads anymore. In fact, I'm not even sure there's any companies around us right now that still do leads. We spent $47 million last year in our in-house lead program.
Right.
That was gross. And I think the net was probably around 8 million.
Yep.
To kind of create a quality lead. It matters to us, guys, because this is how Brandon and I got started in this business. We knew what it was like to work a lead that wasn't good. And we knew what it was like to work a lead that was good. And we started to understand the math on that and how important that is. And to see everyone around us basically just kind of say, no, just go to the vendors out there. Vendors are only in it to make money on leads. That's what they do. The only reason a vendor exists is because they're making money on leads. So when we introduce a vendor like Razor Ridge, it's a partnership in a way that we've brought in-house for the future goal of partnering in a deeper way. But we want to first make sure that leads are kind of up to our standards. And so, but we are not cutting back on mailings whatsoever. In fact, I believe Hanson said last week, we're in every single county, and we do not plan on pulling that back. But as the mortgage market's going to go up and down over years, and people willing to respond to things that hit their mailbox with a pen, and fill out direct mail, that's also going to, chances are, trend down as it has the last 10 or 20 years. So
Absolutely.
This digital lead transformation, us leaning into digital leads is that COVID moment. We are better positioned than anyone else in this space to do that. There's so much more demand for life insurance products too right now that we're seeing upwards of 7 and 8% based on LIMRA statistics. And the demand is coming from a younger age group as well. And so all signs for us are pointing towards this is a massive opportunity that no one else is really paying attention to, and no one else is really even in a position to capitalize on it like we are. So, but it's going to take, as Brandon, you always say, it's going to take leadership. It's going to take people willing to kind of go through some of that uncomfortable initial change of just learning something a little bit new. But this is the time. It's the time for it.
Yep. And, this is when leaders lead, right?
Yep.
We're going to be talking with the directs. We'll be huddling up with the agency owners. We fully expect as an agency owner for you to know backwards and forwards how the leads work, how the platform works, switchboard, how we do everything, right? So if you're out of the field, great, you've earned it. That doesn't mean that you don't need to jump in there and make sure you understand how all of this works, right?
Yep.
So really, really excited about this. I mean, just think, the ability to grow lead flow by 300 to 400% at a minimum.
Yeah.
Overall as a company, the ability to recruit. I don't know how you put a cap on how many people that we're going to be able to recruit out there. The stats that continue to come in are so crazy on the number of people that are looking for a change, looking for a side hustle, looking to work the way they want to work, not the way they have worked. This is a perfect storm for us.
It really is.
Perfect storm. So agency owners, builders, get in there and lead from the front. Be the first to really master this digital selling process. I think back to so many people during COVID, even people that were out of the field. I think of Sarah Pappas, I think of Amy Fine, I think of Cicely, and Pritchett leaning into it. All these folks that even weren't necessarily in the field saying, I can't expect people to do something I'm not willing to do, right? And those conversations early on during the pandemic gave us so much confidence and faith that we were about to nail this. And you did. Because leaders lead. That's what they do during these times. They don't shy away from it, man. They lean into it. Speaking of, B-Dubs, got some new coaching cohorts for AOs.
We do. And we're going to have Tim O'Neill on the national call next week just for 5 minutes for a meet and greet. He's been in our ecosystem for a while. He's no stranger to serving many of our leaders. And what I would say about this particular cohort is when you learn to systemize the predictable, you will humanize the exceptional. So when you put systems in place for the mundane day in, day out things that you do all the time, the predictable things, when you put systems in place for those to manage your business well, to organize your schedule well, to set goals well, to create what we call a 90-day world, when you do that, all of a sudden you've made the exceptional normal. That's why one of our thoughts around here is we will sometimes show you, not all the time, but sometimes we'll show you top performer data. And the reason we do that is because top performance is normal around here. You should actually be able to lean in to the same kinds of things that people that are performing at a high level do, because what they're really doing is they're engaging the content, they're taking advantage of the resources, and they're using them, right? They're actually applying them, and they're doing it with consistency. So real briefly on this cohort, this is the place where you're going to learn a lot of the EOS tools, entrepreneurial operating system tools, and apply them to the world of your agency building. This is led by a professional EOS implementer who has really adapted and learned our structure and how things fit here. So the only thing I'll say is we do have one place now in HQ for you to go, which is if you go under in HQ under training, and then you'll see Symmetry Coaching. All of our coaching cohorts, you can register there. You could find out more, but this is absolutely, if you're an agency owner or above who has not yet learned how to put systems in place to manage your business, this is going to be a home run. So we'll talk more next week on it, but if you're ready to sign up, you can go over to HQ and do that.
Love it. It's a good one. Protect the Protector, My Health 2.0 open enrollment ends tonight. You got to sign up by 11:59 Eastern tonight, May 18th. That's today, tonight, to secure this voluntary coverage. Head to the enrollment portal to take advantage of it. Enroll now, enrollvb.com/Quility. Got some upcoming events as per the normal. We got a good call tomorrow, it looks like, with Senior VP of Activation, GM of MyQuility, Ethan Drum, and Director of Member Services, Brittany Torbett, on Quility RX. Some agencies and individuals are absolutely destroying this, and we need to hear more from them. Casey, he was telling us this morning, which manager was he saying is so far ahead of everyone else?
Brad Gamey.
Yes, the Gainies are just destroying, not only enrolling people, but actually getting transactions. People are using the card. Yep. We want to continue hearing your stories, guys, because we love hearing the impact and the positive impact that this is making on your clients. Absolutely.
We also
love it.
We also got a status update and a review of where MyQuility is, and y'all better hang on tight for conference.
Good Lord.
It's gonna be crazy.
And I would say it's another reason to get to conference, because if you don't get to conference, you may not be an early invitee to have access to it. So
that's right. Yep.
Trust me, you're going to want to be there. And why would you not want to be there? Lord, did you see the leaderboards? Like, all those people are there. They've been there. They keep being there. They're making all the money. Like, somebody says to you, Casey, I just don't think I can afford to go. Wouldn't you say, isn't that why you should go?
Exactly why you should go.
Of not being able to not afford?
To start turning your excuses into reasons.
It's sick and tired of being sick and tired for once already. DFLIVIN, man, Resma and them had a great DFL boot camp in Dallas last week. It was an amazing one.
It's another thing we're going to start seeing a lot more of in this market, Brandon.
Yeah, I had a great meeting.
It's a little bit of volatile market. We're going to start seeing a lot more IUL opportunities, a lot more DFL opportunities.
Yeah, and just know that some of the stuff we're working on that we'll be rolling out, probably trialing a substantial amount before conference, but rolling out full-fledged at conference, is revamps to the whole process with resets, the reset revamp. Yep. And just know that you guys, you're going to love it. Todd, how fired up was I at that meeting yesterday? I was like, man, if I had this when I was an agent, I would have written so much business without actually writing any business.
And I had a page full of notes of reminders for you to go over on the directs call tomorrow on some of the things we're excited about. And yeah, just to think back, Brandon, back when you were in the field and you had one resource.
Yeah.
You had one resource that you had to track down and find, and the amount of annuity and advanced market capabilities you unlocked in a year blew my mind.
Yeah.
To think that we're going to put this on the support with Quility and Mike Resma team behind it, and many, many professionals with very specific expertise in each category.
Yep.
The amount of passive income that we were projecting in a very conservative manner was mind-blowing. It's more money than ever made in pharma in passive income for some of you larger agencies.
It's crazy.
Just for basically bird dogging.
Just bird dog it.
Yep.
Ask a couple questions.
Ask the question.
Follow a simple process.
Don't try to be a specialist in everything.
Yep.
That kind of, you can't even be a specialist in everything. You can't be a specialist in more than a couple of things. It's not specializing. Spring tour, knee deep in it. Go next week. Dallas, Texas. It's going to be a boomer, man. There's going to be a bunch of people there. Then Orlando, Florida. Then they're going to Vegas, and then ending up at Steve Ramsey's retirement party in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's not really a retirement party, so but if you want to send him a gift, you can. He is retired. We should make it his retirement party. Of course, he retired 2 years ago. DFL boot camp. We got the next one coming up June 23rd, 24th. You can get registered at the link there, hq.quility.com page, debt-free life. Get there and do that. And that's it. Stop the share.